Good morning. This is Facebook Friday at Victoria Sampler with Thea Dewick. I am very happy to be here again this morning, and I must say I am missing Lisa more and more. I know you're looking forward to seeing her too, because she wasn't here last week, but she's home. And so unfortunately, she got one of those spring colds that she wasn't expecting, and so she has to stay home and get better because we can't do anything around here without Lisa. So I hope that morning, Elizabeth, it's good to see you. I hope that I can do the best that I can just chatting with you. It's really weird. It's totally different to have someone to chat to. I said this last week, or just to talk and just to kind of come up with whatever's in my mind, right? I don't even have a list today. I'm sorry. I'm falling down on the job. But I did do some wonderful things this morning. I did a little bit of designing for next week. So I'll show you the stitch along free pattern for next week pretty soon. And the other thing that I wanted to do was mainly to collect some of the finished things, the completed things that you had done with the spring block party. I just think all of the ways that you've used that design is just amazing. And so I'm going to collect them, put them into a photo album. I've been waiting kind of till the end of April to collect all of your completed stitch designs. And if you haven't finished, in other words, made it into something like a pincushion or whatever, don't worry. Just make sure you get a good, nice, clear picture of the entire thing, and I'll be sure to include it in the album, okay? Liz says hello. Looks like a whole bunch of people are here already. Oh my, it's so nice to come here and find all of you sitting, waiting to get on board. I'm just thrilled. Thank you. Penelope, hello. Lisa says, oh, there you are. You're there. Oh, I know it's much more difficult to be on camera than behind the scenes. So I'm hoping that you're starting to feel better. Thank you for joining us, Lisa. Sandy says, good Friday morning. Yeah, poor Lisa is right. Honestly, she didn't expect this. Last week it was her parents were coming down and it was Easter and, she had a lot to do. And I guess, Lisa, I think you might have overdone yourself last weekend. Good morning, Donna Granger. Lovely to see you. We did send the parcel out, just so you know. I wanted you to be, oh, I already told you, didn't I? I already emailed you. We've been kind of busy doing, actually getting ready for all of our new designs that were coming out. So we didn't have a chance to kind of take a breath since Easter because we only had actually a 4-day week last week, or this week. So what we did was get the products launched and up on our website. So if you haven't seen them yet, I don't know if anybody has not seen them, but I should show them to you actually in a minute. I'm going to just check and see how many people are here saying hello. Looks like a whole bunch. Let's see. Lisa says, oh, see, now I can't scroll. Oh, okay. Good morning to Shelley from Shelley Sal. Greetings from the wet coast, Jersey Shore. Yeah, it's too cold when it's that wet. And by the way, for those of you who are back east and experiencing flooding, I've heard back east in Canada, there's a really big problem, an emergency problem almost. So my heart goes out to you if you're in one of those places, and I hope that the rains and the flooding slows down really soon. That's pretty difficult. Lorraine says hello. Hello, Lorraine. You're back. Good. I mean, you're here. Good. Thank you so much for joining us at 12:30 a.m. We're going to have to talk soon on a better time for you. Tammy says, I'll be driving home while hubby takes mom's car home. Okay, well, that sounds like a good idea. Thanks, Tammy. Nice to see you. Jennifer Gowan, hang in there. We will help you. Thank you. I was going to ask for some help. Jennifer, I have a specific question for the group so that maybe the group will write down some comments about things. I actually wanted to know if you were working on a Victoria Sampler design, which one is it? Not the stitch along, because you may still be working on that. But which of the designs that I made before I did all the stitch alongs, which one are you working on, if you're working on one. If you're not, that's okay. You don't have to answer. But you could be like stitching it, or you could be getting ready to stitch it, or you could be finishing it. So that's my question of this morning. So if anybody wants to chime in on that one, it's kind of nice. I get to talk a little bit about Victoria Sampler designs. And as Jennifer says, we will help you. Thank you. And then Cleary is here. Hello. Heather says, hello, everyone. And Dee Dee says, good morning. Penelope, another stitch along, wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad you're looking forward to it. Yes, I've got it. I've got some printouts right here. And I'm actually kind of in a quandary as to which one to pursue. So I'll show you bits of it. And hopefully you'll decide for me. You'll tell me what you want. Okay? Wendy Schramm says, blessed morning. Oh, that sounds lovely. It's very nice. It's actually very sunny out here today. So I think it is very blessed. Lisa says, I'm home getting better. Oh, that cough of yours was terrible. I so felt for you. Lisa came in yesterday morning to be responsible and try to get things moving. And she got here and she says, I think I'm going home. Oh, that means that she really wasn't feeling well. Good morning, Karen Krause. And Heather Lillam, feel better, Lisa. Exactly. I hope you do soon. Norma Farrow is here. Hello, everyone. And good morning, Thea. And Connie is here. Good morning to you, too. Deborah Trimble, hi. Lisa says, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you definitely overdid a little bit in some ways last weekend. Tammy says, I know that Lisa's going to get better soon. Oh, that's very positive. Thanks. Susan Pauling, hello. And Wendy Schramm says, feel better, Lisa. Susan Pauling says, I haven't seen them. I don't know which you're referring to, but I assume that it's the stitch along designs that I've just been referring to, but I haven't shown them yet. So don't worry, it's coming. I always chat a little bit before, or we always chat a little bit before I show anything, because people want to, take part. And it's always nice to give people a chance to get on board before we get started. Lorraine says, yeah, it is sad. Heather says, I'm still awaiting my 2 designs from you. Like I said, the post is not fast to Madeira, but you live in the most beautiful countryside. I had a look at Madeira, as I told you last week, and it is stunning. So I hope that waiting in that beautiful country with the beautiful colors, I hope that it isn't too onerous for you. Susan Pauling says she's working on the beach cottage. Yes, you have shown us some of your pictures, so thank you for that. And I hope that it's coming along, because I know that the beach cottage doesn't take that long, because there's a lot more cross-stitch than anything else. But on the other hand, there's a fair bit of cross-stitch, I think. Pandora Gaines is here. Hello, good morning. And Aura's here. Shelley says, get well, Lisa. Hope you're reading that. Still working on the Thanksgiving sampler, says Deborah Tremble. Oh, you haven't shown us your progress. I'm glad you love it. And of course, it's not very seasonally appropriate to give a Thanksgiving sampler, but if you're a stitcher, you're definitely going to be working on things ahead of the game, right? So people can be showing their Christmas projects. If it's a Victoria Sampler project, show your Christmas one. That's okay. And Cleary Kipe is doing the retreat project I did for Suto. So I think it's called Stitching Under the Oaks. Basically, it's the name of your organization that you went to when you went for that retreat. Tina says, good morning from Pennsylvania. Lorraine is working on Biscar New Monts. That's interesting, because that is not my design, but it is a Victoria Sampler design. And I don't know if any of you know this, but not all the designs on our website are mine. Thank goodness. We had a couple of people that decided that they would be happy to work with us. One of them is Linda Rosser, who used to own a needlework shop in Florida. Then she moved to France, the countryside of France, and from what I hear, she's been very happy working there, or not working there, doing her crafts and taking care of her dogs there. And she did, I think, almost 20 designs for us, and one of them is Biscourt Neumont. And of course, because it's French. She loves the French countryside. Aura's here. Jennifer Gow is working on Crystal Waters. Oh, those of you who are working on these, it would be so lovely to see your progress. do take a quick shot with your mobile phone and upload it to Facebook or our Facebook group. That would be so nice to see how you're doing. Jocelyn Maurice, hello, how are you? I have been talking to you a little bit on screen. It's good to see you. And Cleary is saying hello to Lisa too. Aw. Karen Cottrell looks great so far too. That's really nice to hear too. Susan Pauling and Marie Goulard is here. Thank you for coming. She got home yesterday and went straight to bed. She's absolutely sleeping up a storm. Heather has just finished her first sampler, but it's a mishmash of my designs and a few of my own. So it's not strictly a Thea sampler, but you know, we can bend the rule a little bit as long as it's mostly a Victoria sampler mishmash, because I think other people do mishmashes of my designs too, because often my samplers in particular are a certain width, and you can always use a band from another sampler in the place of one that you're working on. For instance, all the farm samplers, I took one off the wall behind me to show you. All the farm samplers are equal in width and length, but you know, you can always make this a bit longer if you want. You can add some other little bands in. This is actually, I think this is the orchard. Now, what did I call this? I'm sure Lisa will pipe up. This is the, oh dear, I can't remember the name of the orchard. I know I've got the number down here. It's number 134. But anyway, here is the little scene at the top. It's the apple orchard. And I think it's Oldfield. That must be it, because there's a lot of orchard there. Love is a fruit in season and within reach of every hand. And look at the little ladders getting the fruit. And of course, down below, you get fruit pies at the little stand here. And someone's resting underneath the apple tree. Anyway, all the farms are the same size, so you can mix and match if you like. So do publish or post your picture of your first sampler, Heather. I'd love to see it. And hopefully there aren't too many other, like it's mostly Victoria Sampler designs, then that's just fine. Thank you. Connie says, I have lots of VS designs ready to go, but I'm working on Beach Cottage in between the stitch along. Oh, well, that makes total sense. Beach Cottage is also really nice in this time of year. You're working on something very bright and cheerful. I didn't know you'd moved, Connie. Oh, well, that's exciting. Are you still in Olympia? Oh, I shouldn't say that. It's private. Sorry. If you are, well, send me an email. Tell me about your move. That would be nice to hear. Serena is joined. Thank you. Rosie says, greetings from Costa Rica. Very good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us. And Karen Leary joined. Donna says, next up is the strawberry pincushion, but I need to find time. I know what you mean. Finding time is something that we do a lot of here at Victoria Sampler. We try to find time for everything, which it means basically that I'm not working, but I am active in the business pretty much full time. Even at the ripe old age of 70. I turned 70 this February, and I think I put that in my newsletter too. It was quite a shock to the system. I mean, it's one thing approaching 70. It's a whole other thing being 70. And Jana says, hello, hello.com. Oh, from Alabama, probably. Hello. And Aura says, I'm working and typing while I listen to you. That's a really good idea. So does your boss know, Aura, that you are working and typing while you're listening to me? You're a multitasker. Hello, my lady Victoria. How are you? Good to see you. And Sharon says, hi, Thea. Good to see you. I love listening to you. Oh, thank you. I feel really a little bit like I'm talking too much because I'm so used to having Lisa here. On the other hand, you know, what's talking too much? We all talk too much sometimes. So that's okay. Thank you, Lisa. Oldfield Orchard. I vaguely remembered. Everyone, I want you to know that Lisa's actually my memory. See, she remembers for me. I have learned to be really lazy when it comes to my memory. I just don't, you know, remember everything to do with the business, and that makes total sense. But if I have a question about, well, what did we do then, and how about that? And Lisa goes, oh, I know. She's got a great memory. probably because she's not stressed most of the time. Some of the time I definitely am. Oh, Susan, thank you for saying love about the Oldfield sampler. Aw. Elizabeth says, hi, Linda. Nice. Marie says, you look wonderful. Oh, thank you. I got this little blue top the other day. It looked so summery. I love it so much, and I'm so glad that it makes me feel and look like good, and that it's kind of summery to you too. Love it. Thank you for making that comment. It makes my day. Connie says, we moved an hour away from Olympia to Herstein Island. You're on an island? Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, so I'll have to hear all about it, and I'm so glad you love it, because of course, living in a town, or even though Olympia isn't that big, it's still very, you know, you got freeways and everything. Sounds like Herstein Island is a lot like our Gulf Islands. So they're probably part of the San Juans. Anyway, I'm so happy for you that you love it. That's exactly what you needed, Connie. Thank you. And Aura says, let's see if we can get some movement on this clicker. No, I have to go all the way down. Okay. So Aura says, nope, my boss does not know. Good, leave it that way. Thank you, Susan. Rockin' 70. I know, it's just weird to be 70. I feel like I am definitely younger. So thank you, Jennifer Gowan. I am glad to hear that. It does, you know, there's a part of me that knows that I have had all these years behind me. But there's a part of me, and I'm sure you all feel the same way, that remembers them so well that I think I am those ages sometimes. And I remember starting the needlework part of my life. It's definitely the second part of my life was the needlework business, after my first part, which was raising my family and being married to my ex-husband now. And then after that, I started the needlework business with my partner, Richard. And he and I, of course, are always active. And he's younger than I am, which keeps me maybe young. I don't know. But that feeling that, you know, I have started the needlework business 22 years ago now. Is that right, Lisa? I think it was 1997. So that's when we actually started the business part of things. But I had been stitching Victoria Sampler designs for about 5 years before that. I hadn't gone very far, but Richard sort of set up the structure in 1997. Lisa came to work for us, which was awesome. And then I remember thinking, well, I am now, I think I was 47 at the time. Does that make sense? 48 maybe? Yeah, 48. And I thought, oh, this is so great. I got the rest of my life. And here I am at the other end of that journey. And I am so grateful for all these amazing adventures that I've had, all to do with being part of the needlework community. I love all of the people that are part of it. I don't go to all of the shows, the commercial shows. I find that travel is really hard on me, so I just instead went through the internet, and we phone people, etc. But we don't go to all of those shows, and we find that the shows themselves can be really a lot of stress. Like, you travel there, you get all your models, you have to talk for all day for 3 or 4 days, and then you travel all the way back. And the first time I did it, I did it twice. And I took the easy way out and said, okay, I'm not doing it. What do they call that? It's a trade show. That's right. I said, that's it. I'm not doing trade show. If I can't make this business work without a trade show, then I just don't belong in this business. So thank you for making it possible for us to do that. So thank you again for joining. And it looks like there's a few more people. Sharon says, I'm approaching 70. And well, if you're young looking now, just keep that up. Okay, Sharon. That's the way to do it. Connie says, yes, near the bottom of Puget Sound. Nearest town is Shelton. I'll have to look that up on the map, Connie. I am so excited for you. Living on a small island is just the best. We live on a really large island, but I still feel like an islander. Loretta Mankowski says, hello, everyone. I won't be on long. I'm at a friend's house for the weekend and stitching with great friends. How nice. Say hello to everyone for us, Loretta. And if they aren't part of the chat group, definitely get them on board, okay? Make sure that they join up, and I'll let them in right away. And Lisa says, that's right, Thea. It'll be 22 years in June. Oh, I thought it was 23. Oh, well. Lisa, please get well. That's good. I'm glad that you're getting all this good vibes pointing at you. I just want you to know that there are almost 40 people, actually just 39 people on board right now, and I want to thank you all for joining the live. I can't even call it a performance anymore. My live chat. It's so nice to have such welcoming people, and all of the stitching that you do, all of the chatting that you do about needlework, and particularly that you are respectful of the fact that this is a Victoria Sampler chat group, not a general chat group, which there are many of, and I love them all. But it is so really nice to know that you are all so part of the Victoria Sampler family. That's what it is. So thank you for that. Okay, so I want to move on. I want to show you number one. I want to show you the designs that we released this week. You have seen them before, but maybe not for a little while. And I think that the first one I'm going to show you is the dog sampler. We had a lot. Thank you. I don't know if you're one of them, but there are many people here that have ordered it already. There's a lot of interest in this one. And now that it's framed, it's kind of more fun to see. So there's the top, which is, here, if I don't lean it too far, then you can see it better. There's the top. And of course, this is a series of dogs that's kind of representative of a variety of dogs in the world. Well, you know how many dogs there are and how many different types of dogs. So I couldn't do them all in one sampler, but I could do a kind of generic looking group of dogs, and I hope you like these. Then the verse says, there's a nice cut work there. Then the verse says, sweet gentle eyes, a cold wet nose, and silken velvet ears, a heart as big as all outdoors. See, there she is sitting there with her dog looking at the outdoors, best friends throughout the years. Now you can leave some of these bands out. You don't have to do the cut work. The hem stitching is fun to do, but again, if you leave all that out and just put some other kinds of bands in there, that would be good. Then there's a scene of a dog park where everyone is jumping around with their dogs. You see some dogs running. And this dog park with the village behind, so that it's in the middle of a town. You can see that that's the place where dogs can run free. And then, of course, there's a bargello, and it says, I love my dog. So I hope that those of you who have ordered it, it's on its way. We managed to get out all our orders this week. Lisa, you'll be happy to know that. And don't you worry, we did it without you, but we did it. And the dog sampler is actually one of the samplers that's going to be in a series. And of course, I'm going to have to make a cat sampler next. It's one of the things that I know that if you're a cat lover, you want one maybe similar to the dog sampler. And cats are a little easier because I just have to worry a little bit about color and maybe length of coat. But they're all about the same shape as opposed to dogs, which are all different shapes and sizes. So I don't think you're going to have a mountain lion or a puma or a big cat in your house. So I assume they're all going to be smallish. So I think the cat sampler will be really interesting to do. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so glad you love it, Jennifer Gowan. Thank you. And Marty, you're late, but you're here, and you just saw the dog sampler, I hope. Thank you. I know that you ordered one, Marty, because I know you fairly well, and I know you have your favorite dog, so I hope that you enjoy stitching this one. And Susan says she loves it. Thank you, thank you. The dog sampler is what we called it as a kind of working title, and now it's called I Love My Dog because that's actually the words at the bottom of the sampler. We thought that that was the most important part, actually. We wanted to change it from dog sampler to I Love My Dog sampler. So that's good that we decided that just this week. Those are just some of the things that we have to decide. And the other project that we have on the books is the one that we did last year for our little retreat. So this is the tote bag, and you can just see inside. Look how beautifully Lisa finished it. And it's got these cute little handles that have buttons at the top, right? You can see the buttons. On both sides is the scene, and I'll just show you the scene up close so you get the idea. This little scene you can do as a little sampler, actually. You don't have to do it as a tote bag. You can make this into a little scene to put on your wall, frame it. I mean, you know now, there's so many things you can do with any of the parts of my samplers. And the piece itself is just adorable. I want to put more things in soon. So it always inspires me when I see this little tote bag because it's not full yet. Part of it is this cute, cute, cute little tape measure holder. And inside this one, we actually have a tape measure. So if you order the full student kit, you'll get this cute little tape measure which matches because it's yellow. And that goes with the yellowish sand at the bottom of the mermaids. So that's the little sachet, we call it. And this is the best part of this design. This, to me, no, it's not the best part. It's just really cute. So this little thing is a booklet. And the booklet has a day on the beach on both sides. And you can even put your name on the spine, which would be a really good place to put it. And then when you open it up, there's some, we found some lovely fabric that we use to line the book, but you can find your own fabric if you're not getting the student kit. And then the first page shows ABC with all different stitches. And then we have DEF for fish. And you can see E is an eagle, and then G and H for harbor. And there's a cute little flip-flop there in aqua, which comes in the student kit. And then there's the, there's the kayak, K for kayak and LM. And this is the NOP page, which of course had to have ocean and orca in the same page. Then we have the QRS. And I don't know, the rabbit got in there. It's not really oriented to the beach, but I thought, well, it is a rabbit, and I love rabbits, and I do have rabbits, and I live near the beach. So then there's TUVW, and finally the end, XYZ. And we did this retreat at Sydney by the Sea. So that's why the words are there, but you can put your own words there. So I hope you like that little tour through our new design, actually new designs, but the one for the beach is actually, it's quite several parts to it, and there is going to be more coming. So this is not the end of the tote bag. The tote bag carries various things to the beach when you go to the beach. So you can give me some suggestions as to what other things I need to put in that tote bag. There's lots of things that we can put in there. And looks like Linda Marchand is looking for cats. Yay! That's good because, you know, I'm a real cat lover. I've had a dog, but I don't think that I'd have a dog again, even though I loved my dog. He was a Doberman Pinscher. But I really am more affinity towards cats because they do their own thing. They don't, like my Doberman was just a whiner. He whined and whined and whined. And wherever I went, he would sit there, be right beside me and whine and look up into my face like, aren't you going to feed me again? The cats meow, but not for that long if you train them right. But anyway, so Susan, oh, I have to go back up, I think. Yep, sorry, the chat group doesn't always behave. Cats for sure. Okay, good. And Susan says, love it, thank you. I would love a cat sampler, says Deborah Trimble. Yay. Oh, by the way, we just reached 40. So thank you for those of you who just joined or come back and join again. Laura says, I love the dog sampler. I'll be ordering one. Yay. Because really, the dog sampler itself is about all dogs. And it doesn't matter what kind of dog you have. So I'm so glad to hear that. Patricia St. Clair has joined. Oh, you were the 40th. And now we have, oh my goodness, we have 45 people all of a sudden. Hello, everyone. New people. Just sliding in here, says Patricia St. Clair. Thank you. Jean Krenicki says, I love the dog sampler and can't wait for the cat sampler. Exactly. Hint, hint, hint. I got it. And it should be the same size, I think. If I can, I will make it similar so that if you have both dogs and cats, you can put them both up. Oh, Sharon, thank you for loving the tote. It's actually one of our favorite projects of all time. And Lisa finished it so nicely. Like you say, Cleary, I love the bag. Thank you. I conceive of these things, and Lisa makes it happen, which I must say, without that finishing, it really wouldn't have the same impact. And you did a beautiful job, Lisa. Just lovely. Everything that I was hoping for is in that bag, so thank you. And Karen says she loves the mermaids themselves. Oh, well, thank you very much. I love them too. And Penelope says, not a Canadian flag? No. We have way more American friends and that come to our retreat. So we put the American, or kind of like looks like an American flag. It's not really very detailed. But to make a Canadian flag, I believe that's in the leaflet. And if it isn't, it's very simple. You can just put some red on each side and a little dot in the middle, and that will give you the suggestion of the Canadian flag. And some people did that in the retreat. So that's a really good point. And if you live in another country, put another flag in there. It's just a suggestion of the flag that you need. You don't need detail. And I'm sure that you'll love that. When I did the tote, I changed the flag to the Canadian one. It wasn't difficult to alter. There you go. Lorraine said the same thing. Love the booklet. Thank you. Eventually, I'll be ordering the dog sampler, says Tammy. I just ordered goodies last week during the sale. I understand. These things, take time. You can't be ordering every week from Victoria Sampler, or can you? Just kidding. Stephanie Murphy says, hi, thank you so much for all you do to enhance the embroidery craft. What a nice comment. Thank you for saying that, and the profession. Your designs are beautifully and so wonderfully happy. That is really a nice thing to say, and I so appreciate it. I can't tell you, when a compliment that's so meaningful comes across my desk, I think about it all day. So thanks for that. Jean Kernicki says, it's a beach bunny. Now there's a good thought. You thinking a beach bunny in the bag? I know which one you mean. You mean the bunny on the, I didn't even think about that, Jean. It even took me a few minutes to think about it now. Thank you. It is a beach bunny. That's hilarious. I love the beach project. Thank you, Loretta. You're saving up for the beach project. Now that's a good idea, because it does cost a bit. We have a very limited number of the, the student kits. So we're not going to probably create any more student kits. So I'm not saying hurry, but it's probably something that you might want to know. And Milady says, definitely cats. Sandra De Leon, you're not missing. No, a little late, but not missing, which is beautiful. Patricia St. Clair is one for cats. It sounds like many of you are ones for cats. I think maybe, Lisa, I've got my new design project on the go here. The cats one. It really is necessary, and I can't not do it with all of you saying I need a cat sampler. What am I going to do? No. Brenda says, good morning. You're here. Thank you, Brenda. And Heather says, me too for the cat sampler. I'll put my 2 in it. Oh, okay. So you've got 2. She's uploaded her Hardanger sampler picture to the page. I'm reasonably pleased with it, but I can do better. Oh, we can all do better sometimes, just as long as you're happy with what you've done as well, okay? Because we can't be perfect. We're human, and it's a learning process to do anything. And I'm so glad you posted it to our chat group. So I'll look for that as soon as I can. I've made you my guru. Oh my goodness. Do I have to be holy and meditate all the time? I love your style so much and have come on in leaps since I started following your videos. So good to hear. So nice. I am much involved in trying to get people to do other stitches than cross stitch, as you know. The idea that you have learned so much on the YouTube channel makes my heart just swell 3 different sizes, because that's exactly why I did all those things, is to make it so it's possible for people to learn. There aren't nearly as many shops now as there once were, and even if there are, you don't always get instruction from people, so having it available at your fingertips when you want it. Thank you for that comment. That's 2 comments that just made me feel so good. Thank you. Marty says she ordered it last night. I saw that, Marty, and I'm so thankful that you love it so much, because I know how much you love your dog. Donna says, I love that tote. It's on my list. Yay. You're going to finish it so beautifully, too. I know you will. And Lisa says, thanks, Thea. Well, you're welcome. You do so much for Victoria Sampler, and I'm so glad you're taking care of yourself because we need you back. This Seeing the Bag, could you show it again? Hello, Janice. I think I can. Okay, so here's the little bag with the mermaids on it. And this mermaid scene can really be as a little sampler. And it's got little buttons holding the handles, as you can see. It's got a gusset in the side. This is the way Lisa created it. And inside, we have a measuring tape sachet with a starfish on it. And then we have this little booklet. So if you, so we have the little booklet. And the booklet has various pages in it that show the beach bunny is over there, which I love. And there are other pages as well. So if you really want to see it, just go and look at the rewind or the replay rather of this video and you'll see them. Lunch over. See you later, Liz. Thank you for joining. It's great that you're here. Karen says, meow per, okay. There's another one. Okay, it really looks like I have to do the cat sampler. Thank you for your feedback. Big deal for me. Because if I see so much interest, I'm much more motivated to do, right? I mean, if somebody says, no, it would be nice, but whatever, then I'm not really motivated to make anything for the group. So your encouragement is actually what spurs me on. So the amount of people who are looking forward to Cat Sampler really is considerable. So thank you for doing that, telling me, rather than just letting other people tell me, because every single person that tells me moves my motivation meter over another notch. So thank you. And Sandra's done more than 13 projects. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Sandra, for showing that, that number, because that's a fair bit considering how many other designers there are, beautiful, making such beautiful things. I am humble and thankful. Jean Kornecki says, I have 5 cats. You're not a crazy cat lady, just a cat lady, okay? You don't have to be crazy to be a cat lady. Marty says, your retreat last year, the Tote Bag, was a year ago today, and I wish I was there with you again in Canada. Thank you, Marty, and I am so looking forward. I am so thrilled that you were able to manage to come in October, this coming October. We are almost full again, and actually we expanded our rooms, so we have more than we originally thought we could have, and you're one of them. I'm so happy. Thank you for saying that you wanted. I wish you were here too. The springtime here is awesome this time, really beautiful. And if we'd had the retreat here now, you would be enjoying tulips like nobody's business. But in the fall, we're going to have fall flowers at Butcher Gardens. I think you're going to love that too. One lady says, yes, I appreciate your YouTube instructions. What a great help. That's so nice. I know I should be calling them floss tubes, and I feel like I'm like off the wall by not saying they're floss tubes, but I just think that the word floss tubes doesn't do much for me. So I'm still going to just call it my YouTube video channel, Victoria Sampler channel. Maybe I should call it floss tubes. What do you guys think? Have you heard that term before? I'm sure you have. And when I did this channel to begin with, I thought, should I call it floss tubes? And I thought, I don't want to be that trendy with the floss tubes name, but then I'm 70, so I'm probably stuck in my ways. Dee Dee says, we are dog people. I had cats when I was a kid on the farm, but dogs have always been top of my list. We do have our preferences, and I'm so glad your dog sampler is ready for you, Dee Dee. Norma would like a kitty sampler. Yay! Milady found some some great cat emojis. Those are really cute. And Penelope says, I miss tulips. They don't grow in southern Spain, right? I know, when you get in the tropical countries, you just don't get those spring flowers. Not the same anyway as you would otherwise. Karen says, I'm a dog and cat person. I love the dog sampler. It's adorable. Super. And Sylvie says, yay, you didn't miss my my live broadcast. Sylvie, welcome, even if you're a little bit late, because I am getting to near the end of my little thing. Penelope says, I dislike the term floss tube. Thank you. I don't know why I dislike it, but I do too. And I know I shouldn't, maybe. It's politically incorrect in the needlework world. But floss tubes that I've seen have been stitchers who want to share what they have done. And really, of course, I'm doing the same thing, but I really want to educate and make people realize how much fun and how interesting needlework can be when it includes more stitches than just cross stitches. Sylvie says, kitty, please. I will do so. I agree, Heather. Brenda says, Brenda Lichleiter, sorry, did I say that right? Stick with Victoria Sampler. I'm not a floss tuber. Thank you for that reply and that input. That's really important. I like that it is not called floss tube. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm on the right track. Floss tube sounds like the dentist. I hadn't thought about that. That makes sense. And Lori Nowak is here. Hi, Lori. I'm so glad. I know that we haven't talked very much, but we did talk that one time. So your piece is on its way, just FYI. Lorraine says, I agree with some of the other comments that floss tube sounds weird. It means nothing to me. Oh, good. I thought it was the only one. That is so funny. It does sound a bit weird to me too. Victoria Sampler is above floss tube. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go to that then. Your videos teach. Floss tube is a sharing diary. I didn't know that. Okay, Wendy, and those are very valuable. People who do them, good for them, but it never really appealed to me, so I'm really glad that I stuck with just the company name, and that makes me feel very happy. Thank you for your input. Floss tube is too weird. You did. Thanks, Brenda. I like Catfest or Chatfest. Yeah, no, actually, that's a really good idea for this Facebook Friday. If we ever start doing them not on Facebook, I tried YouTube and it didn't come out nearly as well as I'd liked, and I really am familiar with this Facebook version, but then it would be Chatfest for sure. Good morning, Jill McConville. Good morning. I'm quietly listening and working also. Does your boss know you're working and chatting or listening? And Judy Pfeiffereck is there too. Now, I want you to know this is the most people we've had at one time. It's we have 47 people here live at one time. Way to go, you guys, coming on board and being there. Thank you. I really love the fact that this group is growing and the live portion is growing as well, little by little. We don't have a huge, big amount of people that can take time off on a Friday afternoon, morning, in the middle of the night. So, and thank you so much for joining. So I do want to, at the very end of my broadcast, I guess it's a broadcast, live thing. Oh, yes, one thing I do want to say about the strawberry sampler. We have the spindle pincushion, which is like right behind me, but you don't have to put the strawberry sampler in the spindle pincushion. You can, of course, but you can also put it in this tray. And I just wanted to mention that because some people find that they're not going to do it because the spindle pincushion, but this tray also works, and it's available from us as well as other shops as well. So do let your shop know that you don't have to have the actual spindle pincushion. And if you do want it, remember you have to write into info@victoriasampler.com, or else we can't order one for you. We are now on our 4th major order from them. So the 3rd one is actually going to be here next week, midweek. So those of you who are waiting, have been waiting for maybe almost a month, your orders are going to go out probably midweek, as long as Lee says, on top of things and is back to being healthy again. So I did want you to know about those. Judy says, hello from Amsterdam on a stitching cruise with Jeanette. Oh, that's how that worked. Because I know Lindy just wrote me and said, I'm going to Amsterdam. And she says, I am going for a cruise. And then she talked about Jeanette. And I thought, well, Jeanette doesn't live in Amsterdam. I used to live in Amsterdam, but I don't think Jeanette does. But it turns out that Jeanette is actually going to be on the cruise. So that makes total sense. Okay, so what I did want to say is I have a couple of options for the free pattern. Now, this is not really an option, but I do want some feedback on this. So my appreciation for your feedback on this particular design. I'm going to show it to you because I've been working on it and I like it, but some of the people think it's not Victoria's Sampler style. And I thought, well, okay, I still like it. So let me know, what do you think of the bird? It's called Early Bird. Okay, so this is the design. And tell me, it's mostly cross stitch. And I envisioned it as a drum pincushion. Okay, so that, okay, so I'm just going to see if I can do this with the paper. So you'll only see a portion of it at any one time, kind of like this. I'm not really showing you very well, but you can see that that's the way the drum pincushion would look, and it's much smaller, of course. This is just a chart. So let me know, what do you think of Early Bird and the Worm and that style? Okay, because if it's a style that you don't really like, or it's not something that you're interested in, I wanted to do this on a kind of like a raw linen and make the colors more muted, not quite so bright. But it could also be like folk art, right? And that's actually what it is. It's folk art. And I like it. And if it's a series, a type of series that you think would be fun for you, because it's mostly cross stitch. There isn't any specialty stitches that I can see in it. It's for people who are just starting to do Victoria's Sampler designs. That's who I'm looking to impress or entice. And then I have the beginnings of a, okay, this is only the beginnings of next week's stitch along. It's again a long, narrow sampler. It could be a bit longer than the previous one that we did for Halloween. And this is the top of it. Okay, so there you go. I don't want to show any more because you'll see more than I intended to show. So you can imagine this is called God Save the Queen. And I really believe in that because I know the bee populations are in danger, and I wanted to be sure that we talk about the fact that it's a bee and it's summer, and I'm hoping that people will take more note of bees. So it looks like you guys love the stitch along. Yes, that's great to hear. I work on, Jill says, I work at home on Friday so I can multitask. Oh, smart girl. Oh my goodness, do you know we're at 50? I think we have 50 people. Oh, no, not anymore. Okay. Well, we had 50 people on at one time. This is like a big record. This is amazing. We got so many people here. Angie says, floss tube is a good generalizing term. Yeah, that's true. As someone said, they're more about personal sharing than the designer's updates tend to be. Ah, that's a good point. Yeah, mine are updates, but mostly they're educational. Tammy says, I call this my Facebook. What did you just say, Tammy? I'm sorry, I lost you. Oh, Chat Fest time. Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. Joanne Cerruto said, my boss husband just caught me watching you while working in our office. Okay. Well, say hi to him for me. That is cute. I know when Richard, my partner, when he and I, do things together, because he's involved in the business for sure. He doesn't do any designing, but, he does some of the business end, a little bit of the business end lately. And when he catches me and I'm not working, for some reason I get this guilt feeling. I'm thinking, okay, I'm 70 years old. I'm allowed to not work if I don't want to. Penelope, you've seen the upcoming stitch along. Any details? The details are, you can put this design with the bee that you saw at the top. You can put that on anything. I am going to check and see how long I plan on doing it, but I haven't finished the entire thing yet. So maybe you can look for, I would think that a light blue would look really nice with the bee, but also, and this is something, a dark green would look lovely because there's a lot of light colors going to be in this, or you could put light colors in this. And I know that bees look really good with a dark green background, so that's possible. And of course, any of the taupe, all those colors will look lovely. Judy says, Lindy showed up today. Oh, good. Yeah, she was texting me as she was en route to Amsterdam. So please say hello to Lindy for me, okay, Judy? Enjoy your cruise. And Deborah says, oh my, we've got 52 new comments. I don't think I can keep up. So here's the comments that talk about the bird. Okay, I love the bird. I love it. Who else? So, good. Love it. Looks like a turkey. Thanks, Gloria. That's funny. Very cool. Love it. Okay, love the drums too. I love drum pin cushions myself. Nice, but not really me. I like different stitches. Those are all so valuable. Thank you. It's so important to know what people will like. Susan says, I love it. Drum roll would be fun. It would be fun. It's gorgeous. It looks ancient. Thank you. Beautiful sort of fracture style. Okay. Love the early bird and worm. Folk art is fun. That's how I feel. It's not really my style, if you want to call it that, but folk art has been in my family for years and years. All my family paints and does drawing, and almost always they're like folk art. I think it's the Dutch part in me. I'm not sure. It looks like vintage. Yes. Thank you, Susan. It doesn't look like a turkey to me. I love it. And Donna says, oh, bee. So thank you for those comments about the bird and the worm. Much appreciated. I think I'm going to go ahead and just have it stitched or stitch it myself and release it and see how that works. Because it's worth it when I see the predominant comments have been positive, and I'm really appreciative of people who say that would not be for me, because you like your specialty stitches and this one would be more for a beginner. But if it's fun for people, I think why not, right? It'll be a different kind of design. So thank you, much appreciated. Oh, bee, yes for me. Beautiful. Thank you, love the bee. I don't like bees, but that is really nice. Thank you, Clary. I don't like bees either, but for some reason this one doesn't scare me. I have to say bees kind of scare me a little bit. I love the bees for a stitch along. Thank you, Karen. Sylvie says, beautiful. I love the bee. Love your beginning. You have been busy as a bee. Absolutely. We can call it that as well. Oh, and Joanne Ceruto says, I love it too. That was exclamation marks. Thank you. Aura says, I thought we were doing a name tag, but I love the bee sampler. We will be doing a name tag. In fact, you can probably manage to I can maybe get a little name tag out of the bee sampler. We'll see, okay? Thank you, Aura. Very good reminder. I have so many ideas. It's hard to know which one to actually, do. But I am doing the cat sampler, and I will be doing the bird and the worm, and the bee is going to be the stitch along, because I can divide it up into weeks, and that makes a big difference. So, Loudy, says Susan. Love the bee. Oh, good. For those of you who have checked out FlossTube but want more of a teaching one, check out Country Stitchers. They do a bunch of Victoria samplers, but they share about gills, teach tools, fabrics, and different stitches, etc. Thank you, Wendy Schramm. That's good. Good little shout out. Love it already, says Tammy. Love it, love the bee. I am new to the group and I only know cross stitches, but I love crowns. Thanks, Kay Long. That's wonderful. Susan Pauling says, bzz, and love the stitch along. Thank you, Gloria. And Wendy says, I love it, can't wait. Sylvia's like specialty stitches, not into folk art. Thank you. I'm really glad to hear anybody who's not into things too, because of course I need to know. Don't want to do stuff that people don't like. And Linda says, love bee designs, and Deborah Ball-Milvey will love it too. I think you're right. Thanks for linking her. And the bee is so cute. I can't wait to see more. Sorry I missed this. I was paying bills. Oh, Deb, don't be paying bills. This is time for Victoria Sampler Chat. Thank you for coming, Deborah. I haven't seen you for a while, so it's nice that you came in at the end. I'm excited about this bee stitch along. Yes, it'll start next Friday. So before that, keep in mind you want something about, you want your fabric to be at least, let's see, yeah, about a foot, maybe 12 inches or a little bit longer, 14 inches tall. And it's only going to be about 2 inches wide. So your fabric will be 14, but the piece itself will probably only be about 6 inches and 2 inches wide. So that is a good start. And on a 32 count, it will be even smaller, Penelope. So way to go. Love the drum idea. I'm not a drum fan. Tried it once. I was not happy. Thank you, Dee Dee. Cleary says the bird reminds me of a roadrunner, but not my style. I'm not into folk art. Excellent. Tammy says I need to do a dive in my stash, fabric stash for the next stitch along. Excellent. Stitching bee, love the bee. Thank you both, Kayla and Susan at the end. So that was the longest talk I've done yet, right, Lisa? I don't know if you've been listening to the entire thing because you've probably fallen asleep again, trying to get better at home. We have had such a large audience today. I am so grateful to you all for coming. As you know, you make my life fun and you make my life meaningful. And I am so grateful to be able to make my living doing this, and Lisa and our other 2 employees. We have a lovely new employee called Carolyn, and at one point or another, I'm going to have to take her picture so Carolyn can be part of our online presence as well. So far, we've only had a picture of Kathleen and Lisa and I, but we're going to put Carolyn in the next picture so that we'll all be representative of the people who are able to make their living because of your interest and your love for Victoria Sampler. So thank you. If you're interested in any of the designs, including the little tote bag and or the new dog sampler, remember to go to www.victoriasampler.com and go to the catalog, Thea's Designs. Love you all. I'm going to say goodbye now because I think I'm getting a little hoarse. No, not that kind of hoarse. I'm doing just fine. So take it easy. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you all. And see you next Friday with the first installment of the new Stitch Along, The Bee. Oh, now I have to say goodbye again. Sorry. I always forget this is a 2-step process here. So don't forget, next week will be the Stitch Along, and we're going to call it God Save the Queen. We might call it Busy as a Bee. So you guys, you can, if you've got your fingers are itchy and you want to give me some names for our next Stitch Along, I am more than happy to consider anything that you like. Okay, so just put something in there into this chat group so that I'll be able to see all the comments at the end, and you can name your own bee sampler. Love you. See you next week. Bye.